Authors of the reproductive health bill are confident it will be passed before the year ends, believing it has solid public support. Based on the third quarter family planning survey by the social weather stations, 68% of Pinoys, or almost 7 out of 10, favor the passage of the RH bill into law. 54% disagree that sex education will lead to promiscuity among the youth, while 50% don't see condoms and pills as abortifacients. The results of the SWS survey are quite similar to the findings of a recent Pulse Asia survey, wherein 92% of the respondents, or 9 out of 10, are in favor of family planning. In a said survey, 44% voiced disapproval of any participation by the church in reproductive health talks, which was contested by the church. Novalicia's Bishop Emeritus Teodoro Bacani said it's the right of the church to intervene in issues involving life. He even launched a book on Catholics and the reproductive health bill.
Pagdating sa mga issue ng buhay, hindi maaaring hindi makialam ang simbahan dahil sa kinakailangan natin ng ethics. Pag hindi na pinag-usapan kung anong tama, hindi na tayo tao.
The Supreme Court today denied with finality the motions for reconsideration of the Court of Appeals justices found to have committed improprieties in the Meralco GSIS case. The High Court affirmed the dismissal of Justice Vicente Rojas, the suspension of Associate Justice Jose Sabio Jr., the reprimand on CA presiding Justice Conrado Vasquez Jr., and Justice Bienvenido Reyes Jr. The court also threw out for lack of standing the motion filed by Francis de Borja, the businessman who allegedly tried to bribe Justice Sabio to lay off the case. All except for Justice Reyes had appealed the High Court's decision. The court also clarified Justice Mirna Vidal's admonition was not a penalty, but a mere warning or reminder.
The court held that its decision was fully supported by the facts on record and is in accordance with the law and prevailing jurisprudence, and therefore it found no substantial grounds to reverse its previous judgment.
The Supreme Court's decision declaring as unconstitutional the Memorandum of Agreement on Ancestral Domain between the government and the MILF may strengthen Joey de Venecia's impeachment complaint against President Arroyo. However, the House Justice Committee Chairman Matt Defensor advises de Venecia not to include the High Court's decision anymore through an amendment, since that would mean a new complaint. If this happens, the House would honor the complaint filed by Attorney Oliver Lozano.
How can you now declare an act that has not been consummated unconstitutional? It's a MOA that has not been signed, that will never be signed, and with a panel that has been disbanded.
The government, meanwhile, will no longer appeal the Supreme Court's ruling. Instead, Solicitor General Agnes de Banadera will file a manifestation before the High Court, simply stating that the questions on the MOA were addressed even before the decision came out. The peso weakened today versus the greenback. Your money's worth is 47.61 to a dollar. And after rallying for 2 straight days, most markets across Asia retreated following Wall Street's overnight decline, with investors taking in profits. Only Tokyo's Nikkei bucked the trend.
Of late, many overseas Filipino workers are worried about losing their jobs as the global economic crunch bites deeper. But organizers of a job fair in Makati say opportunities still abound abroad. Claire Delfin on cue.
This is the long queue of applicants at a job fair in Glorieta, Makati. One of them is Jim Brian Abuan, who had just graduated from college. He says he's been looking for a job for months.
Baka nandito yung luck ko sa mga company to.
Not all the job seekers here are fresh graduates. 45-year-old housewife Amelia Magante is trying her luck too.
Hindi kaya, hindi afford ng husband mo lang ang mag-work.
There are about 5,000 jobs waiting here. Employers, however, say there is still a problem on job mismatch. This seems true in the call center industry. Out of 100 applicants, only 4 are qualified.
The problem around English language, that's one of the problems that we see here in the Philippines.
Apart from skills and readiness, attitude is equally important to employers.
It's their outlook, it's their attitude. Hindi dapat nagpipili ng trabaho. Dapat sisiguraduhin muna na ang sarili mo ay kanais-nais para doon sa trabahong demanded.
150 companies are participating in the job fair, which will run until Friday. Among them, GMA Network.
On Friday, the new studio will be inaugurated. And basically, what you will need from there are new technical guys with new competencies.
Organizers also say skilled Filipino workers continue to be in demand abroad despite the global economic crunch. Claire Delphine reporting on Q.
The Commission on Human Rights and some anthropologists found what appears to be burnt human bones at the site of the former detachment of the Army's 24th Infantry Battalion in Limay, Bataan. Dr. Joseph Jimenez of the Commission on Human Rights says they have yet to verify if the bones are indeed that of humans. CHR is on a search mission for the bodies of 6 persons, including missing UP students Karen Empeño and Sherlyn Cadapan. Raymond Manalo, an alleged detainee in the detachment, claims he saw soldiers torturing and killing the 2 women and setting on fire the body of a farmer named Manuel Merino in the said area. More than 100 tons of milkfish or bangus died in a 10-hectare fish pan in Barangay Saraet, Himamaylan City, Negros Occidental. The dead fish are estimated to be in the millions of pesos. According to the City Agriculture Office, lack of oxygen in the water caused the fish kill, but residents suspect contaminated river water is the culprit.
Here's a new device invented by a Filipino, the Aeronox. It is claimed to enable a vehicle to save on fuel while helping the environment. Rafi Tima on Q.
Saving up on fuel while saving the environment. This is what this Filipino invention called the Aeronox claims to achieve. Inventor Eranio Evangelista presented the Aeronox before the Department of Energy today. Evangelista says his device will make vehicles burn fuel more efficiently.
Kung ano yung hindi nababurn na fuel,
Burn lahat.
binuburn niya.
Kasi 80% lang ang nabiburn, yung maximum na yan eh. Ngayon, 20% nagiging pollution. Ngayon, di sa technology nito, 100%. Kaya ngayon, yung apak mo sa gasolina, imbis na dinidiinan mo ngayon, kapraso na lang.
He tested the device on GMA's diesel pickup vehicle. Before Aeronox was installed, its average smoke emission was 1.76 parts per million. Black smoke came out of the exhaust pipe. When Aeronox was installed, the smoke emission detected dramatically dropped to 0.96 parts per million, and the smoke from the exhaust pipe visibly got reduced. According to the inventor, the Departments of Science and Technology and of Environment and Natural Resources have already tested the device. The Air Quality Board of the California Environment Protection Agency has likewise given its approval to sell Aeronox in the state.
Pero naman ho bang mga offer or kukunin itong device niya?
Marami na. Ang Amerika meron, Australia ngayon, Thailand, napuntahan ko na, no? Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia. Yung mga Asian country. Kasi nga, nagpunta sila rito, nag-test sila.
The Department of Energy says as long as these inventions pass quality standards, the government will extend its support to local inventors.
Hanggat maaari, yung ating Filipino inventors should be the one responsible for major technological breakthroughs. Minsan, ang sinasabi nila, hindi natin sila tinutulungan, hindi natin sinusuportan. Hindi totoo yan. Bakit tayo magsusuporta ng ibang inventors? Pwede naman local yan.
Rafi Tima reporting on Q.
The Philippines today joined other countries in the observance of the Global Hand Washing Day. Led by the United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF and the Departments of Health and Education, a program was held in Makati to teach the proper way of washing the hands to avoid illnesses like diarrhea, pneumonia, influenza, intestinal and skin diseases. Simultaneous with Makati, more than 40 kids in daycare centers up north in San Fernando City, La Union, were taught the correct way to wash their hands and brush their snow water. They had to make do with dippers and buckets.
By all of us working together, we can save children's lives sustainably.
Before we end, a look at tomorrow's weather. Luzon and eastern Mindanao will experience scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon or in the evening. The rest of the country will be partly cloudy with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. A shallow low-pressure area has been spotted some 220 kilometers northeast of northern Cagayan, while an easterly wave affects eastern Mindanao.
And those are the stories for today, October 15, 2008. For more news stories, log on to www.gmanews.tv. I'm Rhea Santos.
And I'm Ivan Mayrin.
No spin, no bias.
News on cue.